I've been wanting to test this thing for a long time. We got the Banshee Titan V3. It's in a mullet already. I haven't ridden it in 29 yet, but I will. We've kept it in the low position at the back. So it's got a low and a high, or maybe low and, yeah, low and a high. So low position for the 29, a high position for the 27. But in the high position, it felt a little bit high. So worked out my spring rate. I've got a 350 on there with a heap of clicks of preload. It's probably got 8 clicks of preload. Lyric on the front here, this ultimate. Now, this came as we got a plane in the background. You can still hear me surely. This came as a Shockcraft altered Lyric Ultimate. So Shockcraft didn't do it. The guys at Shockcraft are super switched on. They know what's going on. But their recommended oils I'm a little bit questionable about, because when I got this fork it felt really pokey and like a jackhammer, like bang 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 bang. I thought, oh, what's going on here? We'll service the spring, pulled it apart, service the spring, got all the info from the owner, used the Super Gliss oil, and used the hot pink oil for the damper. So Super Gliss oil for the lowers and hot pink oil for the damper. Now when I took the spring out of the lowers, it was very sticky against the walls of the stanchion, so I cleaned everything, isopropyled everything, got everything ready, put it all back in, and that seal, the quad seal on the top of the piston, would just not come good. It was just super sticky regardless. So I ripped that quad seal off. I put a quad seal off of an airspring that I have at home on here. Instantly it was much better, smoother. But I took it out for a ride and it was still jackhammery, and I thought, what's going on here? Like it made a good solid improvement with changing that spring, but it still wasn't like a B1 Lyric Ultimate that I've ridden, you know, many a time. So today I pulled the damper apart, and sure enough, put the damper back in, and it feels, just on the climb, it feels killer. It feels much smoother, much more compliant and fluttery. I've just climbed this thing up Pioneer Women's, and it's the fastest bike I've climbed in a long time. It's equal fastest with my slash. When I first got the slash, I put in a hard effort and got like a 16 minutes 16 or 15. Just then I did 16 on lap climb left on Strava. And yeah, this thing is sprightly. You stand up and pedal, it hangs on, there's no bob, there's no nothing. We got Magura brakes, which I'm not huge on. They got weird rotors, and yeah, doesn't feel great. But apart from all of that jargon, let's see how it feels on the trail. Therefore, much more controlled up the front. Much more controlled up the front. I can't really pedal anywhere because I've got 175 cranks, and in this low position, it's asking for trouble. DHX2 factory out back, which is a good shot. Not sure about tune yet, but it has me in a good position with a few clicks of high-speed compression, so it's definitely got a range of a usable range of adjustment. Oh, the fork is so much better. It's made the whole bike feel much easier to ride. It's a very solid, I've spoken about the Banshee frames before. It is very solid. Love the frame. Seat tube's a little high on this large. Oh, a little mouse on the track. Could probably go maybe a little quicker on the fork. And play with that compression out back. Just to get it feeling a bit more harmonious. Oh, it's so good. It is so much better now with this fork serviced and dialed. Well, not dialed, but certainly serviced. Haven't clapped the rear end at all since I got this bike with this setup. I know why people go carbon frames or look for a stiff frame, because that zip you get out of everything, out of every dead moment on the trail, it's just zip straight away out of a stiff frame. But I don't think, even there, no sign of bottom at the back. Yeah, the idea of a stiff frame is killer, and no one does it better than these guys. But whether that translates to longevity is questionable, but I've only heard of 2 of these frames being broken, and they're both broken by the same person, so yeah, take what you will out of that. Not sure if they're super sturdy, but I'm pretty sure they are. The fork is so much better now, so much easier to point and shoot. It's still not perfect, I don't have it where I want it, but this bike is killer. Yeah, I like it. There is absolutely zero question that this is a race bike. That right there is a race bike for sure. You could send, so I just Strava'd that, so we weren't going real hard, but it'd probably still be a admirable time, I'd say. But that's just a run to see how that fork's feeling. You can see the travel, so a good amount of travel used. I got 1 click of high speed from open, 6 clicks of low speed from open. That felt like a real good amount of control. The back end just needs to be fine-tuned, being that it's got high and low speed compression, high and low speed rebound, spring preload. It's going to take me a bit of time to hone in on that on a few different trails and a few different rides, but I spent all day on it yesterday. Fork was clapped, but I'm kind of made do with it, and to be honest, the bike didn't feel that good with the clapped fork. So it throws the feeling of the entire bike out. What I was going to do is put my fork in there and come out today, because I knew my fork was good, and just kind of deduce what's wrong with this fork from there. But now that I've serviced this damper, that's night and day. So Steve, are you going to be happy with this thing? And I'll kick on, keep working, and find the sweet spot in this. And once I've found the sweet spot in the Mullet config, I'll go a 29er, and we'll see how it rolls in a full 29er config. 175 cranks too, which is garbage, but doesn't matter.